Hey, welcome once again to a new episode of What They Don't Teach You in High School. This is Tariq here with the new segment, and actually today we have a special segment because we're actually doing a collab. We actually have a special guest.
Here, Kyle Philippe. You can actually follow my YouTube at Call Me KP and my Instagram at No Limit XK.
Okay, so another important thing about this podcast is not just not only the purpose of doing it is for financial literacy, but I also want to go ahead and use it so we can go ahead and collab. We are all young, inspired entrepreneurs.
We just want to start here today. We're just gonna sit down, answer a few questions, put y'all on a little bit of game, talk about what we know, and as well share with you guys.
Okay, so we actually in the age of the internet, right? So with the internet, there's actually no barriers of entry. So with that, we have the power to create anything that we would like. We have the power to control our own narratives. So we want to go ahead and reverse engineer the same process that people use as coming up as music artists.
Step out for yourself. Because at the same time, people don't understand the internet. We can use it for so much more than chasing ass or looking at the latest clothing lines to drop. Honestly, the internet, you can be used in so much ways. As well as to learn, and go YouTube, podcasts, listening, gathering information. Instagram, you can use to build your own market, your own personal brand, what people don't know. I have plenty of friends who use the internet today who promote their own things and also get it sold. So it's more than just a place to look at ads. Honestly, it's a big platform you could use to promote yourself and just learn and gain knowledge and build up.
Alright, so I actually have a few topics that I would like for us to go ahead and discuss. It's just personal conversations that not a lot of people like to go ahead and have these conversations, but I think it's necessary for growth, and it's just necessary for us to have these difficult conversations. So I just wanted to go ahead and ask you, how do you deal with personal attachment? Let's say you just have a few flaws that you have within yourself that's stopping you from getting to the next level. What do you do as far as keeping yourself in check? Or if not, do you even keep yourself in check at all? Is that something you struggle with, or do you have a system in place that goes ahead and helps you with that kind of situation?
Well, personally, I think we all in some way, shape, or form struggle with accountability, because I mean, in most situations, more than none, if you don't address the problem yourself that you have, there's no way to change that in some ways. Like, if you can't address your own problems, how is someone else gonna come in and help you fix it? So I mean, we should all strive to hold yourself up to, but in most cases I've noticed it's always best when you have good people around you that's also gonna hold you accountable, because they'll be quick to point it out. Like, as we know, we
chopped it up the other night.
Yeah, we're chopping up the other night. We notice we're in the same circle type of way. You guys don't know us, but our circle is kind of blunt. They'll be quick to point something out. If nothing goes slip by, you can ask them, I promise. So I mean, in some cases, those are the best, because they're quick to point it out, and it makes you go home. You might not think it's an issue, but really them bringing it up to your ear, and it just rings and rings, and you repeat the same line you heard just now, and you realize it has been a problem for you. So I'm in those situations. That's why I actually love to have a good team around me that's gonna promote, like, that's gonna push me and show me the things that I think that weren't a problem, that are a problem.
Right. As for me, as far as personal accountability, I know that I have a few flaws. So I actually have a list. I'm very structured as far as spreadsheet. I have a list what I call Greatness 21. With Greatness 21 is the concept behind that is it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. So if you go ahead and do a habit for 21 consecutive days, you either create that habit, or if you have a bad habit that you have within yourself, you want to go ahead and stop doing it. If you can stop doing that habit for 21 consecutive days, you will break that habit as well. Like, say for example, you smoke a lot. It's a good goal for you to set that for the next 21 days, I'm trying not to smoke, right? So with my Greatness 21 sheet, it's a spreadsheet. On the left side, I have a list of all my good habits that I'm trying to obtain, such as waking up on time. I have a specific time. I want to wake up at 7 a.m. every single morning. That's a part of my good habits I'm trying to obtain. And then also on that list, I have a list of my bad habits that I'm trying to get rid of. Things like house chores, or just forgetfulness or building rapport. I think I'm not as open as I should be. I'm not as transparent as I would like to be, and I don't have a lot of conversation with strangers a lot. So, and it's very important that you go ahead and network. So I have those lists on the side, and it's a daily routine. Your success is in your routine. So every morning, what I do, every morning what I do is I check it off as I go by the day, right? So it goes from the previous day. If I monitor subconsciously, I monitor my day from prior. So I wake up in the morning, I check off on my list. Did I wake up at 7 a.m.? If I did, I check it off. Did I build rapport? I check it off. Was I positive today? I check it off. Was I negative today? I check it off as well. And then I do this on a daily basis. So at the end of the week, I go ahead and just look at all my list of good and bad habits, and depending on what I checked off, whatever is the fewest that's left on the list, I go ahead and say, okay, I hold myself accountable and say, all right, so this week I only took out the trash 2 days out of the week, so I'm doing bad. You know what I'm saying? So my main focus is gonna, for the following week, is gonna be make sure I take out this trash. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's very important for you to establish a routine, because you can't trust your memory. You can't trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to put everything in the system. You have to put everything that you believe in into something that's bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's just you, you're gonna break. But if it's a system, you have to follow the system. You have to follow the protocol. So that's why I do these kind of little spreadsheets here and there to help myself keep myself organized and structured. I also have what I call a structure list as well. And it's basically a daily to-do list. So I want to map out my entire day from education, right? With financial education, it's not something that is taught in school. It's taught in the household. So when you come from a household that doesn't necessarily know what they're doing financially, if you come from a poor household, how do you even you manage to go through society and just figure out how to do just simple things? You know what I'm saying? How is that transition from high school to now? How is your transition financially?
Personally, I could definitely say it's been tough. Because I mean, looking at certain things, which is actually going to be a bad habit, you can actually say, but looking at certain things even on social media, seeing other kids farther ahead of you, knowing they had a better advantage that you start, like a head start almost in life. Mm-hmm. It is kind of frustrating, but at the same time, I never look at it as a disadvantage to me, because at the end of the day, I know I have the resources like the internet, YouTube, personal blogs, podcasts, all that is helping me to catch up, and if not catch up, help make pass as well, because I know some of the things I have, like my mindset now, I know other 21-year-old kids are way different. Most kids are probably thinking, damn, in college, fuck bitches, get money, you feel me? But it's more than just that. It's learning and getting better every day, and focusing on the long term, right, not the short term. Right. Really, instant gratification. If you can just hold off on that, and say you're gonna save that $4 you would have spent on that, save that $10 on that Big Mac meal, in the long term is gonna work out. So that's what I would try to focus on, long term.
But I also punch in on that is I feel like it's a big problem where we don't think long term. We can't see long term. We only see short term, because one of our problems is our role models, our examples are drug dealers or rappers or people we see in our neighborhoods, in the streets. You know what I'm saying? They getting money, but they getting quick and fast money. And as soon as they get that money, they go ahead and splurge it on materialistic things. So you see they put up in fancy cars. You see them, they have all types of jewelry and chains. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I know and I grew up with was poor. But at one point, once we start transition from the adolescence of 8, 10 years old to now we 13, 14, 15, and we're in high school, the whole mission is to get money. and we've been poor our entire life. So I don't know what happened was we hit high school and now everybody's trying to impress each other. So now the mission is to get money, but we are all poor. So we're sitting here trying our best to show the fact that we got money, but we don't. So once we do have our small little $5, $10 here, $100 here, we go ahead and spend it into things to make it look like our life is luxurious, our life is this and that, our life is that. And it's like, in order for us to get out the situation that we are in, we have to stay in the trenches. We have to be able to live below our means. We have to be able to live humbly to get out a poverty situation. But if all we see is niggas with chains, or I seen too many high schoolers with grills.
Grills.
You know what I'm saying?
Grills and goals.
You know what I'm saying? I seen too many weed man who start off in high school and they got a ring on them. You know what I'm saying? The goal should be, okay, bam, I'm making a little change now. Let me go and help my moms out. You feel me? My mom's got 2-3 jobs, and I got this little hustle. But the first thing I gotta make sure is these J's on my feet, because I never used to have them prior, and I used to always be jealous to that one kid, even though he was in the same fifth, fourth grade as me, but his moms could afford all the J's, and all the girls liked him, and everybody thought he was cool for those J's. So as soon as I get money, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. And that's the same process as far as when you transition out of high school. You get that first job is, when I get this first check, what I'm gonna go ahead and do with this first check is catch up. Catch up to all the people I thought was cool. So I gotta go ahead and get this chain. I gotta go ahead and get this shoes. I gotta go ahead and do such and such and such. That's gonna keep us in this hole. I gotta get this new finance card. That's gonna keep us in this hole. Where we should, coming from a poverty standpoint, where we have no room to fill, we supposed to be locked in. We supposed to put all that money into buying assets that's gonna pay us. But we don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, that's the one big problem I see in our race, especially in our culture. We don't have the information that others have to get ahead. Most kids, like you just said, we get out, we get the flashy shit, all the materialistic shit that's gonna depreciate. That you don't even know this. They're gonna depreciate. That car, as soon as you drove it off, it depreciated. It probably went down $2,000. You don't even know it. Certain things, if you buy it, your money's not gonna come back to you. You guys really. And one thing I want to point out to you: read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a book by Robert Kiyosaki. He explained this vividly. There's assets in life and there's liabilities. That flashy chain, that's a liability. That right there, that's not gonna bring you back no more.
That watch could have been an asset, but they put diamond on that shit. Now that shit is liability.
You run that bitch out, you get your money right back and then some. That's what we gotta focus on in the community now.
And also, I also wanna say another thing. One of the purpose of the podcast is not to say I have all the answers. I'm a financial expert. I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out how to get myself out of poverty. And I know it's a lot of people in my situation, in my same circumstance, that's trying to do the same as well. So I want to change the narrative as far as spark this conversation. I want this to become interesting. I want this to be something that people talk about. You know what I'm saying? A big taboo in the streets is, oh, don't worry about what the next nigga doing. Don't pocket watch. But honestly, I should say, bro, what you doing? I just seen you came up $100. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I can do the same thing. So we can learn together. If I see a dude walking down down the street, he got a tuxedo on, he got a briefcase and stuff like that, I should say, bro, what you doing that requires you to wear that? You know what I'm saying? Then he might put you on, okay, I do real estate. Let me go ahead and show you, ask him how did he get into that. You know what I'm saying? But it's taboo to speak on money. Money is just one of those things that you just don't talk about when you're poor. But guess what? Rich people, that's all they fucking talk about. And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? We just have to change the narrative. Let's talk about these things. And then one person gonna say something that's gonna spark something within you. You're gonna try, and then it's gonna work for you. And then it's just gonna trickle. It's gonna be a trickle down effect, just like that, and it's just gonna keep going, and we're just gonna get better like that. But we gotta start having those conversations. You know what I'm saying? You empower anything that you ignore. We need to stop ignoring that the fact that we broke. We are broke. But by having a conversation and talk about it, that's the first step in making change. First step to change is acknowledgement.
No doubt.
You feel me? So doing this with my brother right here it's just a way to collab, and we having a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? And we just trying to go ahead and learn these things to get better. You feel me? And we got to get better as a collective. With the internet, ain't nobody can tell us we can't do nothing. We have the power to do whatever we feel like. With this camera that's right here, I can do whatever I please. We can create whatever we please. If we can come together, we can make change. If me and him can come together, and whomever listening right now, y'all can come and put something together. We can create worlds. We can create our own economic system that's gonna help us first. Right now,
The new Black Wall Street.
we can create the new Black Wall Street. We can have a person in every single different industry. You know what I'm saying? You got a YouTube page promoting a grocery store. You also know a dude that got a hospital. We make an alliance. You know what I'm saying? I think if anybody gonna do it, it's us. You feel me? Because kids are a big part of change. They're very creative. Back in the days when the civil rights movements, the ones that was rebelling, the ones that was in the sit-ins, that was going against everything, was kids. Okay. I wanna have a conversation with you as far as if you see your brother not necessarily on his shit, not necessarily doing what he's supposed to do. What is that feeling like, and how is your process as far as addressing that?
Personally, me, I always felt a different way of going about things, because I noticed that this is a problem for me, which I am working to change. I'm not too verbal on situations like that. I'd rather show my answer through my actions.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see him slacking, and I know if I pick up the workload, if I start moving different, and he catches a glimpse of that, I know something's gonna spark something in him to say, okay, Kyle picked it up. Kyle's turning on the gas. What am I doing? I'm over here chilling.
Right.
Let me get on my shit. Let me pick up. Let me catch up to him.
Right.
That's actually how I always go about things. Like
Motivate.
even seeing other people do better than me. I don't ever envy or get jealous of the next man. I get motivated.
Okay.
You feel me? Oh, he just got this new car back. Let me go get up. Let me get up earlier. Let me read more. Whatever he did to get his car, I'm gonna do something 2 times as harder just to get my car. We're gonna both be up together. You feel me? That's the way I look at them.
Right. I want to say I agree with you as well as far as being assertive. I'm not necessarily assertive in certain situations. I don't like to hurt feelings. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't like to hurt feelings. So sometimes I might notice my dog have a bad habit or something like that, and I might nudge at it a little bit. But sometimes you just need to be blunt and just grab a nigga by his shirt and just like, my G, you gotta tighten up because it's not sweet out here. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of my homeboys who transition out of high school and they start chilling. We don't have time to chill. This is not the time to chill. We don't have nothing. You gotta understand, we from the bottom, and the only way we gonna get up if we grind. So if you sit here wasting your time, you gonna get X'd out, and we not trying to repeat that cycle. We trying to make that change. And now lately I've just been having these difficult conversations. It's hard. It's very hard for me to be like, bro, this is just an example, like, bro, like for me personally, I have flaws that my dogs, I have a few people around me that look up to me, but it's like once my flaws is pointed out, all the good that I do and it outweighs the small bad that I do. So they'll be like, okay, Tyreek might be messy at times. Tyreek might be all over the place at times, but he has a good soul and he's very generous. He's done a lot for me. So I'm not gonna say something when he slip up. But honestly, that's what I need. I need to be checked. You know what I'm saying? I need to be like, bro, you tripping, you wild, you moving too fast. Slow down. You feel me? You're gonna mess up, you're gonna keep being messy, you're gonna keep being unorganized, and it's gonna make the process even much harder for you. I need somebody to be able to.
It's good, it's good.
I
I'm
need
just
somebody
saying you don't
I
listen.
need somebody to hold me accountable for all the fuck shit that I do, because if I can't stop these bad habits, I can never tap into my purpose. You feel me? And then okay, so and also another topic I want to talk about, discipline. Um, the term success is in your routine. I believe that 100%. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how talented you are. It's not about if this bet fits you, this gig or this role or whatever fits you perfectly. It's just about how consistent you are. What you do every single day determines what the rest of your life is gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to ask you, how do you deal with discipline? How do you deal with doing everything that you're supposed to do on a daily basis? Do you struggle with that, or is that something that you feel like you got down pat?
Personally, yeah, discipline. I feel like discipline is a struggle for everybody, especially people I know. Everyone battles with discipline. It's hard to sustain from those little bad habits that you know would be bad or worse for you in the future. Every day you have to wake up and just try to make a little nudge towards progress on each one. You don't want to eat that cake? All right, cut it down to just 3 slices. Next thing you know, you can cut it down to 2 slices. Then you're down to 1 slice. Now you don't eat it all together. You're a vegetarian. So I mean, it's those little progress steps we make every day it's gonna bring us closer to success. And I mean, everyone's gonna struggle with it, but as long as you can resist that urge every day consistently, then you're gonna beat it. You're gonna conquer it.
I think for me personally, I think that's one thing I struggle with the most out of anything in the world. It's a thing that being very talented, I want to say I'm very talented personally. I just have confidence within myself that that I could do a plethora of things. You ever heard the saying, jack of all trades, but a master at none? I feel like that fits me perfectly because I can pick up literally a lot of things and be good at it. You know what I'm saying? But I would never master them because I never stick to it long enough. You know what I'm saying? I just pick it up for a second, do it, then get bored of it, and then put it right back down. And honestly, I think that's wasting time. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not gonna go ahead and do something every single day, or if it's not something that's within my purpose, I don't think I should be sitting here wasting my time with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's super hard to be disciplined when the only person I have to talk to or to hold myself accountable is myself. Because you cheat. Subconsciously, you're going to cheat. Constantly, you're going to give yourself excuses. But there's no excuses for fuck shit. There's no excuses for shit, for things that you can control. You know what I'm saying? If you wake up late, then you know you got to go to your job at a certain time. That's fuck shit. And you are in complete control of that. So if you feel like that's a bad habit that you have, and when you go to work and your manager or whomever don't say nothing to you, you're gonna feel like, okay, I can go ahead and continue to do that. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be able to continue to do that. And I think another problem with us is growing up in poverty, right? Growing up in the hood per se. We have too much freedom as kids. We aren't really as disciplined as much as we should, because we are in a situation where our moms, sometimes it's just our moms alone. You know what I'm saying? So your mom's got 2-3 jobs trying to pay a rent that she can't afford. She probably in debt because she ain't know nothing about money when she got out of high school. So she made bad financial decisions. Her credit is terrible, so she can't never get in a situation where she can change that. So she literally had to work for the rest of your life, and she put all her chips in you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, my son gonna be so I'ma just go ahead and thug it out and grind it out right now and just figure out how to make sure he good. But it's too much freedom for you because your mom's at work all day. So you at the crib literally can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you're in a situation you do whatever you want to do. And sometimes with discipline is not about doing things that you want to do. It's not about you. It's about doing things that's bigger than you. It's about doing things that's within your purpose. And sometimes it's going to be days that you don't want to do those things. You feel me? It's going to be days where you're tired. It's going to be days where you don't want to go to work. It's going to be days where it's like, damn, we could go ahead and cut this short. We could go ahead and cut this early. But the only way we're going to get there if we don't take no shortcuts. If we do what we're supposed to do every single time and there's no excuses about it. And if we don't do it, we have to hold ourselves accountable. And we have too much excuses when you have that freedom because you feel like this is your world and it's not your world. Life is not about you. Life is bigger than you. It takes a village to raise a child. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? So anything that you do is a lot bigger than you. Every decision you make, every choice you make is bigger than you. It's about your family. It's about your loved ones. So when you sit here and you sleeping all day, think about your moms who sacrificed her entire 30s or whatever to work 3 jobs to make sure you got food on your table and make sure you straight. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get up for work, if you at work, you got a bad attitude and you got a daughter, think about your daughter. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be affected by that. Think about your daughter that's watching her pops having bad energy, having bad attitude because he hates whatever he's doing. 9 times out of 10, she's going to soak all the energy up and it's going to come within her and she's going to end up being the same person as you. You know what I'm saying? And we all doing this for our loved ones. We all doing this for whatever purpose it is. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you do things, don't think about you. Think about your reason, your purpose, your why. And if you don't have a why, you got to find it. Tap into yourself and find your why. Find your loved ones. Find those who truly mean the most to you. And then you're going to have your reason. And then you have to be the example. You have to be the role model. To show them what to do and what not to do. So I just wanted to, I'm glad we got a chance to go ahead and chop it up and have this conversation. And hopefully, with them hearing it and other people hearing it, they'll be able to have the same conversations as well. And it sparks a whole chain reaction of having a comfortable conversation and being able to hold ourselves accountable and check our numbers and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Is it?
This was the first talk in the segment 1. Check back with the channel, check back with the podcast. The podcast is again, what was it repeated for one time?
It's What They Don't Teach You in High School podcast. Go ahead, you can find us on Spotify. You can also find us on Anchor as well. We do have an Instagram page as well. It's actually at WTDTYIHS_podcast. One more time, that's WTDTYIHS_podcast. Definitely go ahead and check us out. We have all the links to our episodes in the bio or anything like that. If you want to go ahead and reach us. If you have any personal questions about finance, I am an advocate for finance. So I'm an advocate of finding new ways to go ahead and get assets and finding new ways to make money for yourself. So go ahead and listen to any episodes, any of our segments, and then if you have any questions, you can DM me personally because I'm here for y'all. I want everybody to strive. I want everybody to change the situation they in. You can go ahead and DM me personally at Young Mako 06. That's YOUNGMACKO_06. All right, definitely.
Yeah, so make sure you follow my man. He's gonna keep you up to date on all the financial literacy information, anything that he knows and has tried personally. He will then feed to you, give you his story, his experience on it, how he handled it, and how you can maybe handle it a little bit better than my man's doing. Like I said, this is gonna be the first segment. I definitely want to have another one of these in the future, maybe a couple more, depending on how you guys like it. Let me know in the comment section below. This is just segment 1, man. Really, we just all trying to get better. We all trying to learn, just make sure that every day. And yeah, follow below. Call me
Gonna be right there. Right there.
Trying to keep balance. Take that Z-Walk, dick you with my Reebok. I don't say